everyone, thanks so much for being here. So these are a little series that I wanted to highlight because these have been highly enjoyable for me as a reader. And yeah, so let me start. First, this is a prequel. So this is a prequel, which is a graphic novel. This is the book I read first because this is the main book. This is A Murderer's Ape by Jacob Wagelas. And this is, I believe it's YA. And then this is the third one in this series, which is kind of the follow-up to The Murderer's Ape, Sally Jones and the False Rose. So I read all three of these last year. I read this one first, then I found out that it had a prequel, which is pretty short. And then I anxiously found out, or waited or found out, I don't remember if this was published, that it had a follow-up. So I was really excited okay, this one came out in 2020, English translation 2021. So these are first published in Swedish first published in Swedish in Stockholm, Sweden. So yeah, so let me first tell you the main story, like what they're mainly about. And then if I were you, I would still start with this one. And then if you really like it, then read the prequel. And then, of course, move on to the second one. So the main thing I want to say that it's about is The Murderer's Ape. It's about a gorilla named Sally Jones. And she was captured when she was like an infant. And she's pretty much lived in quote unquote kind of like captivity. But then now since she's so like kind of like humanized, she of course can't go back and live in the wild. And she really doesn't even know where she came from exactly. She just remembers that she's like lived with a bunch of different humans. And since she's very intelligent, she pretty much does like jobs and like works and stuff. I want to say he also is a really good illustrator. You can tell in the beginning, you can see in the beginning how they have a map. And you can see how in a lot of the chapter, he has a profile of all the characters in the beginning. I love when authors do that. And so he has these like really beautiful pen and ink. I'm guessing they're pen and ink, or it could also be some type of printmaking, but I think it's pen and ink drawings of all the characters, so you can kind of go back and reference this. So basically, it's about a gorilla named Sally Jones. She, like her best friend, she calls Chief because he operates a cargo boat. She works with him kind of like an engineer, but they're kind of friends. He doesn't treat her like she's like a worker, but she's very intelligent. She pretty much knows how to do all this stuff in the boat. Well, he gets falsely accused of a crime while he's with her, and she takes it upon herself, because she's very loyal, to solve the crime so he can be released. So that's what this entire novel is about. You get to find out, like, she wants him to be released, and you get to find out if she gets to have him released from prison. And she meets all these people along the way, like all these other characters that are all very interesting. Some people are very nice to her, some people are not. And she as a character is very unique. She's very sweet. You just root for her. Like, I felt very connected to her as a character. Like, I wanted her to succeed. I just felt so bad for her. I wanted her to be back with her chief. And it's very, very good writing. I'm going to give you a sample of it. It's like middle grade YA-ish. Of course, it's made like it was YA, but it is technically YA. But like, I would say even like for sure, I would recommend this for a lot of different adults. Like, I as an adult really enjoyed it. I think it's one of those like upper, even though it's like, yeah, it's like YA. It was like a very upper YA, I think. So it's like, the other day the chief gave me an old typewriter, a 1908 Underwood No. 5. He bought it from a scrap merchant down by the harbor here in Lisbon. Several of the keys were broken and the release lever was missing, but the chief knows I like fixing broken things. It's taken me a couple of evenings to mend my Underwood No. 5, and this is the first time I've written anything on it. Several of the keys will stick, but a pair of pliers and a few drops of oil will soon put them right. They will have to wait until tomorrow. It's already dark outside my cabin window. The lights from the vessels lying at anchor on the road are reflecting the black water. I've strung my hammock and I'm about to climb into it. I hope I don't have those horrible dreams again tonight. So it's just a really interesting story about friendship and kindness and devotion and like loyalty And it's a very good character piece. It's also pretty long. You know, it's at 580 pages. But I really enjoyed it. It's not fast-paced at all. I would say it's kind of like adventure-ish because Sally Jones ends up in different places and, you know, doing all these different things to try to help her human. Okay, and then the second book is kind of like, you know, it's like the heroine of the Murderers Ape Return, Sally Jones and the False Rose. Now, I'll be honest, I did not enjoy this one nowhere near as much as this one. Like, honestly, like, I didn't really enjoy it. I kind of thought the plot was a little bit far-fetched. I just, like, enjoyed the time I got to spend with Sally Jones, and that's what kept me reading it. Because I think that's one of the, like, most interesting characters that I've ever read that was developed by any author, Sally Jones. And his drawings are phenomenal. So I was in because of Sally Jones, but it didn't really do it for me as far as the story. But it has the same beautiful illustrations. And I would say if you really like The Murderer's Ape, try this one. But I don't think you're missing out too much if you don't. But yeah, and then I want to show you guys this. If you like beautifully illustrated books, this is a prequel, The Legend of Sally Jones by Jacob Wagelas. So, deep in the African rainforest, in the midst of a tropical storm, a gorilla is born. A gorilla like no other. This is the story of that gorilla's fantastic voyage against the world, from the jungle to the Grand Bazaar of Istanbul, all the way to London, Singapore, and beyond. The story of a mysterious jewel thief and sad sailor with a heart of gold. A story of friendship and adventure. So, this one puts more perspective into, like, lets you know where she came from. And, you know, it enriches The Murderer's Ape because you find out, you know, more about her life, and how she got to live with the chief. Because in The Murderer's Ape, she doesn't really know, I don't think. And so it just gives you more of her backstory. So it's a very nice companion. Look how he's really such a great illustrator. It's just a really nice companion. It's a very short little nice companion to the other one. So yeah, I really wanted to show you guys these as a set. I think they would add to a really rich reading experience for a lot of ages. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.